We've even had a deaf and hard of hearing boat mechanic who owns his own business come in and mentor the kids. We did that for about 2 years. And he would come in and he would work with the deaf students on the cars, and then he helped with the hearing students too. And it was really neat, you know. So that just opened another avenue. And now every year I have deaf and hard of hearing students coming through my class, and they do well. They do the hands-on part better. And I tease them that they never listen to me, so that's kind of fun too. So NATEF and AYES are under the umbrella of ASE. So ASE is the Automotive Service Excellence program that was established to certify auto technicians. There was a time when a mechanic could be anybody who said they can fix something, and there was a time where a lot of these guys were doing a poor job because they didn't really understand where the technology of the car was going. So ASE was established, and what they did was they tested technicians it's just simply a written test, and it tests their understanding of the topic. There's 8 areas in ASE, basic areas of the car: engine, transmissions, air conditioning, three of the 8 areas, just as examples. And what happens is, as an auto tech, in order to be a certified auto technician, you have to pass that ASE exam. So they started implementing ASE. So you start seeing ASE certified shops popping up. And what that means is the technicians that work there have passed this test, stating that, hey, they understand this written portion of the test. In order to achieve your certification, you also have to have 2 years of work experience. The benefit to our students is the high school program counts for a portion of their work experience. So NATEF was established for automotive education to develop standards. Just like a math class and an English class has standards, automotive classes had to have standards too. So NATEF, the National Automotive Technical Education Foundation, came up with those standards. And years ago, some of the standards were things like cleaning and adjusting points, setting the ignition timing, adjusting a carburetor. Now we don't have those standards because that's technology that doesn't, it exists, but it's not mainstream technology that is going to get these students a job. What's going to get these students a job is checking the codes with the scan tool, performing a 4-wheel alignment, adjusting the headlamps, synchronizing a Bluetooth. I mean, so there's so many modern standards. So in every few years, NATEF updates their standards. Timing light is no longer even on the list. Okay, is it still something we teach? Of course, it helps with the understanding of the engine. Is it something that we have to teach? Absolutely not, because it's not on the standard. So what that does is it does give us ammunition with administration sometimes when they say, well, you know, what do they do in auto shop? All they do is work on cars. And I like to imagine to myself sometimes these administrators sitting in their offices envisioning the movie Grease, you know, where they're dancing to Grease Lightning, okay? But that's not anything like what we do. I do not allow students to work on their personal cars. We have very few side projects because it doesn't really fit into the NATEF standards. So that gives us a lot of ammunition from that perspective. The other thing is NATEF is supported by the major manufacturers: Toyota, Honda, Chrysler, Mercedes-Benz, BMW. All these major car manufacturers support NATEF because they want their technicians to be well trained. So the next component of that under that ASE umbrella is AYES, which is the Automotive Youth Education System. In order to be part of AYES, you need to be a NATEF school. So what happens is, as an AYES school, you have these industry connections. When students are ready to go out in the field and get some real-life work experience, AYES is the internship component. And there are some guidelines and agreements that are provided by AYES. AYES is in charge, AYES is responsible for some of the cars that have been donated to this school. So they kind of take the guesswork out of what an internship is. So the nice thing is, if I go to a car dealership and the manager kind of disregards what I'm trying to do for the students and for the community, I could contact AYES. They'll contact the corporate office of that dealership, and usually we would get a phone call back from that dealership saying, hey, yeah, we're ready to take an internship. Because sometimes, you know, a teacher doesn't carry much weight to some of these guys who are in the industry, especially if they don't know who you are. So what it is, it's a neat network of organizations that are all tied together for the well-being of automotive education